Welcome back, pre-algebra students. In the last lesson, we learned about the rules for the addition of signed numbers. We learned that if the signs are the same, we add them together and keep the sign. If the signs are different, we subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. So we have two practice problems for this lesson. But I wanted to show you that this practice problem, -4 plus +3 plus -5 plus +7, is the same thing as this expression here. -4 plus 3 minus 5 plus 7. They're the same problem. They'll have the same answer. The difference is, or the thing about it is, I should say, that the sign is kept with the number. If you look at it, you can see that. And everything is just being added. So when we write these numbers out in an equation, we drop these parentheses and we just use the sign of the number to represent what we're doing on the number line. Okay? So we can look at this either way. The same thing for this problem. This is technically just the sign of the number in between each one of the numbers. The operation is the sign of the number. So that's something that you're going to need to remember and think about, especially as we get on to more and more complicated equations and expressions. Whatever is in front of the number is that number's sign. Okay? It's not subtraction. It is addition of a negative number. It's not addition. It's addition of a positive number. Everything is addition. Everything is combining different positive and negative numbers. All right, so let's go through this. -4 plus a +3. We have two different signs, so we're going to subtract. 4 is the bigger number, so we subtract from 4. 4 minus 3. All right, that's going to be 1. 4 is the bigger number, so it's -1, right? Because this is the sign of the bigger number. All right, now that we've done these two, we are going to combine the result here with the next number, because that's what we have to do in addition and subtraction, is we work from left to right. And we take the sum, or whatever the result is, and we apply it to the next number. So it is okay for you to write that somewhere as you go from left to right, so you can keep up with it. So -1 plus a -5. The signs are the same, so it's going to be a negative number. 1 plus 5 we add because the signs are the same sign, and that's a -6. Okay, so -6 and a +7. So they're different signs. So we subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. So 7 minus 6 is 1. And 7 is the bigger number, so the answer is going to be +1, because the bigger number between 7 and 6 is 7, and 7 was positive. Okay, so the answer here is +1. And usually we write +1 as an answer itself without the sign, because we understand that by default a number is positive. Same thing here. We go from left to right. So -4 and +3. Different signs. So we subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. 4 minus 3 is 1. The bigger number has a negative sign, so it's negative, just like up here. All right, -1 and -2 are the same sign. So it's going to be a negative number. 1 plus 2, we add them together because they're the same sign. That's going to be 3, -3. Now we have another negative. -3 and -6 have the same sign. So it's going to remain negative, and we're going to add these two together because they have the same sign. That's going to be a -9. -9 and +5, they have different signs. Okay, 9 is the bigger number, so the answer is going to be negative. Because they're different signs, we subtract. 9 minus 5 is 4. 9 was the bigger number, so it's going to be negative 4. Okay? Equals negative 4. Now, when we write the answer and it's negative, we always put the symbol. We always put the sign for negative. Positive is understood. It's understood that if there is not a sign written, that it is positive. But in order for it to be negative, we have to write the negative sign. That is something you have to remember. Now, if we go back and we look at these, which are the same exact, it's the same exact problem, same exact numbers. We do the same thing. We can see it in our heads if we think about the number line. Negative 4, right? We're on negative 4, and we go 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right because it's positive. That's negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. Negative 1 is the answer here, right? So if we start at negative 1, this is a negative 5. So we need to go to the left, right? We need to go to the left 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'd be negative 5, negative 6. Isn't that where we were? Negative 6, that's right. So now we need to go from negative 6, 7 spaces to the right because this is positive. We come up here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. Well, this is negative 1, so this is going to be 0, and this is going to be positive 1. That's the same answer we got here. We can see it on the number line when we combine and we move these numbers left or right based on their position or their sign that tells us which direction to move on the number line. Okay, so negative is to the left. The first number always tells us where to start. Positive is to the right. Negative is to the left. Positive to the right. Same thing here. If we started at, I'm going to go below now. If we started at negative 4 and we need to move 3 spaces to the right because it's positive, we'd go 1, 2, 3, right? So it'd be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. That's where we ended up, negative 1. Now we need to move to the left 2 spaces. 1, 2. That's on the negative 3. That's where we ended up, right? Now we're going to move to the left 6 more spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9. That's where we ended up when we did our combination. Now we're going to go to the right 5 spaces, and let's see where we end up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're back where we started at negative 4. Okay? And that was the answer. That's where we went. So you can see how it's just a combination of signed numbers, which is also the same thing as moving left or right on the number line from a starting point. Okay? If you have any other questions about Lesson 70, please let me know. That's all we have. I will see you in Lesson 71.